Oh, hello, friends. Jason Blaha has kindly made another video for us to react to today. All right, man, it's Team On. We're going to do a reaction video to the gym lifting, recruiting, fitness, gear slave himself, Jason Blaha. Blaha says compound movements followed by isolation exercises gets you jacked to the max. Yeah, okay.
Compound movements followed by isolation work is the best way to get jacked quickly.
Yes, to get you jacked with sarcoplasmic hypertrophy and inflammation in your muscles constantly from lifting. Yes, which fill up with water, your cells. That's what inflammation really is. People don't realize this. That inflammation you're getting is water you're filling your cells up with water. That's what that inflammation is. So that's what you're getting. That's what you're getting, yes.
Hey everybody, it's Jason Blaha here, and I thought I would chat with you guys and gals a little bit about this today.
So the more artificial food you eat, the more you shall create the sarcoplasmic artificial muscle growth called sarcoplasmic hypertrophy. Your muscles will hypertrophy through the sarcoplasm. Get it? Yeah. That's what hypertrophy means. It means something is getting bigger. Hypertrophy doesn't mean you're building something. It just means something is getting bigger. It's enlarging. Well, if your muscles inflame with fluid, water, are they not hypertrophying? They're getting bigger.
So, for some reason, this is something we have to bring up because it becomes a point of controversy, and it really shouldn't. This has been repeatedly time proven for generations, and it has been proven in the lab.
But buddy, do you people understand how many artificial things you are doing out there? You are using. Listen. You are showering on a daily. Even when I was a kid, I stopped showering. I would shower once a week when I was a kid. And my parents didn't say nothing to me about it, but somebody complained one day in the school or something because I said something to somebody, and they went to go tell the teacher that that guy showers once a week. And then she called my parents and told my parents that I need to shower more often. Oh, whatever. Here's the thing. At least if you shower once a week, you know what I mean? Because you're not really getting dirty. You're not playing in a sandbox. It's getting dirty or messed up, whatever. The point is, you are aging. You are aging because you are removing good bacteria on your skin. The truth is this. You are actually every time you shower, you think you're clean. You're actually dirty. You're actually dirtier from showering. That's why you have to wash your sheets and everything when you lay down. Look at them. They turn brown and everything, especially white sheets. Because you're dirty. There's a filament and sediment from the soap. It's on your body still. It never really truly washes off. And you're using detergents and bleaches and shit, and you're washing your body with it. It ages your face, your skin, and everything. And this artificial lifting and eating artificially washing, toothpaste with aggregate in it, like cement aggregate to wear down your enamel on your teeth is insane. The only way you can actually get your teeth to remineralize is, well, I'm not saying you shouldn't brush your teeth if you don't want to. You can use a very light brush, but you should use baking soda, but there's no aggregate in it. Use baking soda and eat natural food. Don't eat carbs. Don't eat these toxic foods. And you're with acid, especially in them, like sugar and acidic foods. They'll fucking wear down your enamel, bro. They'll destroy your teeth and your good bacteria in your mouth. So all these things that you're doing are actually destroying you over time. That's what you think, oh, these are good things. These are all bad things you're doing.
To be true, okay? And when people argue otherwise, I'm sorry, they're flat wrong, and I'll give you the ones that are completely wrong. The people who say, oh, we only need big compounds, you just do these, you'll be fine. Or then the people who talk about pre-exhaustion and stuff. Let me be clear. The pre-exhaustion one, let's just debunk it really quick. This has been studied in the lab. Every time it has ever been looked at, it causes less muscle growth.
Yes, Blaha's going to debunk it. Yes. Okay.
Let me state that again.
Yes.
Every time it has been tested in the lab to where you do an isolation movement, then a compound, It always causes less muscle growth than the reverse, every single time. Now, that being said,
So it produces less muscle growth or inflammation. Yeah, yeah, less inflammation, less sarcoplasmic. Okay.
people say, but this bodybuilder recommends it.
I don't recommend it. Look,
I have never met results doing it who use less than 2 grams a week of anabolics.
look, I don't know. Those are fake bodybuilders. Look, I don't know if I can consider myself a bodybuilder. I do bodybuild. That's my whole premise is to build my body. But I don't do that kind of bodybuilding, fake bodybuilding. I just do myofibrillar bodybuilding. That's the bodybuilding that I do. And that training is very specific. It's based on eccentric exercises and it's based on muscle damage. It's based on muscle damage. It has very specific principles to get that damage. Unaccustomed, untrained, and unfamiliar forms gets that damage. Get it, bro? So that training is very specific to myofibrillar growth. Now, if you want to train and get the sarcoplasm to become bigger, then train often. Come to the gym forever. Keep lifting there. Be a lifting slave. Get it? And eat an artificial diet that will increase the sarcoplasm eating artificial food. There you go. So you can keep doing that. Plus, you can keep inflaming your muscles because that's what you're doing. Inflammaging. So go ahead and keep doing that. Yeah, you can. But that is not the training for myofibrillar growth, for bodybuilding. Okay? That is artificial building. You're building something artificially. But there's really nothing there you're building because it's fake. It's artificial. It's fake.
That's the minimum threshold I have ever observed. Now, I could be wrong. That's just my anecdote. But when it doesn't work in the lab, and it hasn't worked.
That is it's extremely, how should I put it? Unhealthy for you to inflame your muscles on a daily, going to a gym 5 days a week or whatever, 4 days, 5 days, 6 days, 7 days, whatever you're doing there. And eating artificial food on top of it, these toxic artificial foods and sugar. It's extremely bad, everything you're doing there.
Historically, before large amounts of gear were introduced, that should tell you something.
Yes, and gear. If you're because he keeps talking about steroids. Steroids are extremely toxic, and all steroids come with their own level of toxicity, and some are more toxic than others. And pills, if you're downing pills, these steroid pills in pill forms, they're horrendously toxic. They will destroy your liver, your kidneys, your organs, you name it. That's how bad they are. That's the reason why they revert to injecting steroids, because they're in hopes of that there would be less toxicity coming into the liver. Instead of going directly, it goes slowly. But that never pans out for them either.
And it makes sense that they can get away with it because metabolic fatigue can become the primary pathway to large amounts of muscle growth in that case, okay? So be clear on that. Of course, it's causing a lot.
Again, I will repeat, steroids are not muscle building drugs. They are enhanced performing drugs. They do not build muscles. They don't build myofibrillar growth. Listen to this. They do not build myofibrillars. What builds myofibrillars are the satellite cell, myostatin, follistatin. It's highly regulated. And these nuclei, okay? Nuclei are postmitotic. Steroids are waste drugs. They're protecting you from wasting away. That's what they do. That's what they use them in science. They give them to people that are wasting, like on HIV and shit, whatever. They're dying in a hospital. They're wasting drugs. That's what they are, okay? To prevent you from wasting away, all right? Just like when you're starving, your hormones go sky high. Your growth hormone, testosterone, whatever, goes sky high because it's preserving you because you're wasting away now. Get it? You're starving. And so it's trying to retain all that. It's recycling all that energy. It's keeping energy in the muscle. That's the first thing that goes. What's the first thing that goes? Energy. Then everything else goes. So it's retaining as much energy as it can. So if you inject these steroids, these wasting drugs, and you eat a lot of these energy foods, well, what's going to happen? It's going to start It's going to start storing this energy as what? Glycogen. Where? In the muscle, because that's where it fucking stores. Get it, dude?
Fatigue. But when it's been tested, we know it doesn't work. It always causes slightly less growth. Okay? Always causes slightly less growth. Whereas in the other end,
what does?
What we find, right? So example, you see me right here doing a dumbbell incline press for my chest and upper chest, and then you see me do some tricep extensions. All right, what's been found in the lab to be true for tricep growth? A press followed by an extension has always produced the most overall tricep growth. Okay, when it's been looked at, it causes more growth.
Okay, whatever. That made no sense. It causes more growth, the tricep extension. What? Because you're taking these steroids? Yeah, because you're pumping more of this glycogen in there because you're eating it. It's protecting you from wasting. So you're pumping it in the muscle. Get it? By lifting weights.
And just pressing does, and it causes more growth than what just an extension has done.
Yes, more sarcoplasmic artificial growth. Yes, Blaha.
And it's in different heads, meaning because pressing in general tends to work the lateral and medial heads more, and extensions tend to work the long head more, right, which is the biggest of the three, the other two are the two smaller ones, causes a little bit different growth. When they're combined together, you get really, really, really good growth. But what ends up happening is that...
Yes, you get really, really good artificial growth, yes. And inflammation.
If you work the others first, everything gets shortchanged because then your chest and everything gets shortchanged. So
see, look at Blaha. Ask yourself this question. Take a good look at Blaha. Does he look like he's building myofibulars? Look at him. He says he's on Primo and Test, which I really doubt. I don't know what the fuck he's on. Maybe it's just TRT. I don't know what he's doing here, but he looks very average and ordinary. This does not look cosmetic. This does not look cosmetic like these bodybuilders on steroids. This doesn't look cosmetic. This looks like he's gotten very lean. I can't say if he's taking TRT or not, that for sure. I don't know about the Primo. He says he's taking Primo. Why is his arms so small and his waist so thick and his legs skinny? I'll tell you why. Because he suffers from sarcopenia. Sarcopenia means the decline, myogenic decline. That's what it means. It means a decline, a myogenic decline, a decline in the satellite cell. How do you get this? It's really easy. You be a lifting slave, and you will decline. The satellite cells, they'll decline. That's what happened. So it's associated with this sarcopenia, and it's associated with aging. You age heavily when you lose that pool. When that pool shrinks, the satellite cell pool shrinks, you age like a mother effer, dude.
Generally, what you want to do your big movements that work the most overall muscle, allow us to do heavy loading, okay? And then what? Then you come in and isolate the stuff that needs the isolation. You pick movements that maybe work those muscles a little bit different. And not every muscle is going to need it. You know, for example, you'll see the same thing coming up. You'll see me do some dumbbell rows followed by curls, okay? In that case, I'm looking at it going, well, my lats don't need the extra work. I have better lats than I do arms. My back is pretty dang jacked. My arms need more.
No. He suffers from kyphosis. It's obvious. It's you could see it. He has kyphosis. He has no back. It's kyphosis.
Work, so it makes sense to do that. You know, I don't need to come in and isolate my lats any further. Although I do some pullovers and that helps a little, right? But I do those on my chest and tricep day. So, you know, from this perspective, this works. And it has always been found to be true, is we take the big exercises and work down. Now, a lot of times people will say, well, when we do certain full body, does it make sense sometimes to do curls before squats? Well, yeah, if you want bigger arms, because when you get late into a workout, those muscles get more fatigued by the nervous system does, so they get recruited less. But novices really shouldn't be doing full body. I mean, if we're going to be objective, you shouldn't be doing that anyway. So you're generally going to be working the same muscles. And so therefore, if we're split up in such a way to where, you know, we're training back and biceps and all that together, most of those movements overlap. It makes sense to do it that way. Okay? It makes sense.
Hi, my name is Tami.
Same muscles are being worked. You know, a dumbbell row works the biceps. Is it a great bicep builder? No, but it does build them. It doesn't build them like a curl does.
How does it build them? How does it build a muscle? How does it build it? That doesn't make sense, but whatever. I'd like to know. I'd love for him to answer any of my videos and explain how does throwing this weight up in the air grow a muscle? How does it grow the muscle? What if I'm starving? Will it grow it too? Will it grow it?
Whereas with the tricep
What if I don't eat anything and I just lift day in and day out? Will it just grow magically?
extension, the presses do work certain parts of the tricep.
I don't understand this. How does a weight grow a muscle? How does it grow it? What kind of muscle does it grow? And how does it grow it? Here's the question. What type of muscle, better yet, forget the muscle. What type of hypertrophy does it build? That's the question. What type of hypertrophy does this build? Myofibular or sarcoplasmic? And how does it do it? How?
More than the extension does, at least when you look at it in the lab. So that combination makes even more sense in that regard. But, you know, we come over to something like a row than a curl. Well, curls in general make the whole bicep grow more than a row does. This is a
Bicep curls make a muscle grow more than a what? Than a row does? How does it do that? And what type of hypertrophy? How does it make it grow? Is it myofibular or sarcoplasmic, Blaha? I'd like to know.
again been demonstrated under laboratory conditions. We know.
What if I don't eat any carbohydrates? Let's just say I eat protein, and I do that, right? We know that muscles have an M&D size limit, so I just keep growing. There's no growth there anymore. What's going on there exactly? Like, what's going on? Will it grow sarcoplasmic if I don't eat any carbs? Will it grow? Here's the thing, but I reached an M&D size limit. I eat a lot of protein. Will it grow? Will it grow if it reached an M&D size limit?
That's the case, right? It's like always. So you always tell people you're never going to build.
No, that's why Blaha's not growing, because his muscles have reached an M&D size limit, a myonuclear domain size limit. Get it? And he's not eating enough carbohydrates to blow up, to get more fat. He's eating some, because I saw his fucking diet. He's eating some carbs, and he's a lifting slave. Yeah.
Great biceps without curls, unless you're just genetically gifted in the arm department, in which case you can get away with a lot.
Look, man, if you want to get big arms, just fucking damage them, okay? If you damage them, then you may get a donation of these nuclei, okay? And then you can support further muscle growth, because nuclei synthesize protein. Without them, you ain't synthesizing jack shit.
Different stuff, and you do see those people. But we come back over to this point.
Yes, what point?
If you follow a different pattern than what I've described, you're simply going to get suboptimal results. Doesn't mean you can't get results. And we come back to the other. Can you build good
optimal results? I don't see any results here. You look exactly the same.
muscle still if you do triceps and then you bench press or do chest presses? Sure, but you're going to gain less muscle. Okay? The same thing, especially when people talking about doing curls and then doing their lats. That's a real good way to have no back. Okay, I can tell you right now, for 90% of people, you're not going to build your back doing that. You just wasted your time. You probably should have just made it an arm day and not bothered with your lats at that point. Okay, just calling it like it is. But by that same token,
okay.
And the people who are like, you only need big compounds. Been my experience, it's a good way to have no biceps. It's one reason I'm still playing catch up with my biceps. I did that for years as a power lifter and just neglected curls. End result, my arms ended up being smaller than they should, and I had a massive back. Now I have to play catch up, and I've been playing catch up. Still not quite there yet. So again, when you start deviating away from this, it's just not going to be as effective. So this is why, we tell guys, even novices, you probably better throw in some curls and do some barbell curls. Come and do some straight bar curls, with a barbell. Even from day one, probably not a bad idea, right? Because most of them, they're only going to be doing rows and everything for it. So this is how this applies more to the novice, right? Still come in and say, you know what, even if you're doing some rows and other stuff, you should probably do some curls. Otherwise, you're going to end up with T-Rex arms. You're not going to be happy about it. But conversely, this applies to more advanced lifters too.
I tell you, this looks heavily like a natural old man physique. It doesn't look like a drug-induced physique. Like, again, he could be lying. I don't know. Who knows? He has been lifting for 25 years. There has to be something there. But this looks like a natural physique, which anybody could do. Get it? It's very ordinary. He doesn't look like he's on cosmetics called steroids. This doesn't look like a cosmetic look. I'm sorry, dude. Look at those legs. Look at those legs, those arms. Look at that body, that chest, everything. Look at it. It's so ordinary, bro. Come on. Who you fooling here, dude?
Get caught up in this pre-exhaustion nonsense. It has only been effective for guys on very...
Pre-exhaustion is, again, it's energy. You pre-exhaust yourself like running, and then you go glycogen load, okay?
Large amounts of stuff for the most part. And even then, we could argue that they still might have gotten better results doing the other. We just don't know. Maybe there's a point where if they use enough stuff, the fatigue just...
You notice how he does the exact same exercises day in and day out, and then you expect a different outcome doing the same thing that you're adapted to. You're gonna get the same outcome. A zero, bro. Get it? Yeah. You have to do something extraordinary. Yeah. To get an adaptation.
Adds up, causes growth no matter what they do. But even then,
yes, prove it. Show us where this growth is. You keep saying growth, but where?
best champions, even in those circles, have still always done the other. They've always done it the other way successfully. And it makes sense.
Well, they have they?
Because that's what we see happen in the lab also. All right, guys, but that's really all I have to say on that today. I hope it's been...
It's what they see in the lab too, broski. All right. I'll see you in the next one, friends. Tell me what you think about that. Like, subscribe, support the channel. See you in the next one. Ciao.